Okay, my friends. What a few weeks it's been, huh? So if you saw on Instagram stories, I've been sharing a lot there about, um, if you're here, just say hi. By the way, I would love to chat with like real people instead of feeling like I'm just talking to the screen. But here we go anyways. So on Instagram stories, I've shared a lot about how I've lost my hair. You saw when I had pneumonia and all the good things, and how we've been coming out of that. And just when I thought we were starting to come out of the woods, I feel like I've had a few setbacks, and my hair started falling out. So I've lost over half of that at this point, and we're working on figuring that out. Um, Lots of good things because in the middle of it, God is teaching me a lot. So maybe I wouldn't have had the compassion and understanding. I wouldn't have, on people that have faced like severe sickness before, and certainly loss. Doesn't have to be hair loss. It can be any kind of loss. The whole grieving process, the whole process it takes to go through something in general. And, we say joy in the journey, and we say we're going to seek God and figure out, what He wants from us in all of this. And so I just felt kind of rushed in my Instagram stories explaining what is coming out of this for me. So I thought it might be a little easier and I wouldn't feel like as rushed. I feel like I could talk a little bit longer, catch my breath a little better on Facebook Live and explain to you guys, because this is where we're going to do the thing. So, one of the things that I've had to learn with being so sick for so long and being so incapacitated is that God does not need me, in the sense that, He has jobs for me to do, and there's things that, I believe I was born to do, called to do, and all that. But more important than that is who I am in Him. And I'm really trying to figure that out. I was raised, to always be busy and doing things, and my parents taught us to be hard workers, and I'm so grateful for that. I think I just took it so far that was my only identity, because it felt good. It gave me something to do, and I could not rest. I did not know how to rest. I couldn't find value in rest, and I'm still wrestling with that and figuring all that out. So not being able to do anything sure helps me a lot figure that out, but it's still a process and it's still a journey. And it made me start realizing, just like my own kids, if they were sick or if they were going through something, or like, one time one of them broke their arm or one of them needed stitches, and, that made them need extra medicine, extra time, a little extra spoiling. And no, they didn't have to do their chores for a little while. They got a hall pass, and literally when, one had a broken arm or a sprained foot or something like that, they could not do that. Did I love them any less? Nope. Did I respond to them any differently? Only with more care and compassion, I think. But I've been trying to learn so much more how God perceives us based on the way, the things that I've been going through, and then the way that I handle my own kids, the way I perceive my own kids. And so this whole thing has escalated, since September. And I'm still at the place where I can't work a full work day, and physically unable to, my strength is just not back yet. And we're working on trying to figure that out and answer all the questions. It's just going to take time and testing and appointments and all those things. So then when my hair started falling out, I was like, well, that happens to, seems like a lot of people. I'll be just fine. Well, that was like more than half of my hair in less than a month, 4 weeks. So, if you haven't caught it all, there's so many bare patches on my scalp, and there's nothing I can do with that we had to order a hair piece. Otherwise, I have to wear a hat all the time. Or you can just see my bare scalp, like patches of it everywhere. And that has been really hard. I had to cut my hair. There was over 6 inches that we had to cut off because the hairpiece itself is only so long. When it actually does come in, it's going to take like a week or so. So when that started happening, I really started asking the Lord what He wanted me to learn out of this and what He was trying to speak to me through this. And again, when there's not a lot I can do, I'm feeling stuck. This has been months of like not being able to do the things that I want to do when I want to do it. It's getting to be a long time. Like there's things in the house that have really been left undone. It's a lot. So I just kept asking the Lord what He had out of this. So I wish I had brought my sketchbook over, but if you didn't see my Instagram stories from the other day, when we went to Dallas and we ended up spending a day in Magnolia, and it was such a wonderful day. We met friends there that we hadn't seen in a while, and I met new friends. And so we went to all the stores, and the weather couldn't have been more perfect. We went and had coffee and looked at everything they had. And so this new friend comes up to me after we have this wonderful day. We're talking about where we're going to go eat for dinner. Everything's just about to close, and we're planning out the rest of the night. And she hands me this small sketchbook. And we had chatted a little bit in the coffee shop in the morning, but nothing super in-depth or anything like that. And she said she felt like she should buy it for me right from one of Joanna's little stores, the stationery store, and that I should hold on to it and write down whatever it was that God was speaking to me, that He was going to use my writing. He was going to use what He was going to share with me to help other people. And I thanked her, and that's all she had for me. And she took it, so I promised myself when I got home, I'd put it next to my nightstand and then just see what happened. So that was weeks ago, and that's right about when my hair started falling out. So it sat there all these weeks, and I'm like, okay, God, now you're not giving me anything. And maybe I'm not listening. Maybe, because now my hair's falling out. So this is getting really interesting. I'm like, what are you saying in all of this? And He didn't really say much. I didn't hear anything. So the other morning, I've been Voxering with a friend in our business group, in our mastermind. And she's an incredible businesswoman, mother, friend. I mean, just incredible. And so we were messaging back and forth, and basically about how we perceive each other. And I was trying to encourage her, and like to me, she's like the most amazing and professional and all the things. And yet, if you ask her what she thinks about herself, she will say, "I'm so small and I'm so insignificant," or just like I want to be so much farther down the road, and it's so hard, and I want to give up every day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the same way I think about myself. But then we fully acknowledge that's not biblical. That's not who we are in God. At the same time we're Voxering, I'm getting a Facebook message from another woman in our t-shirt club, a fellow foster mama, someone I've been friends with for over a year now. And she's messaging me that she's seen my stories and post about my hair and all this that I'm going through. And so she's so sorry. And she asked herself how would she feel, and she knows what she thinks about herself. And again, it doesn't line up with what God says about us. I got to thinking we're onto something. And even as I'm listening to the Voxers and reading the Voxers and then reading these messages from Facebook Messenger, God is speaking to me. He literally said, I saw the words, I am enough. Finding out who we are in Him. So I'm like writing this down as fast as I can, and that's all I've got. But I'm starting to put the pieces together. So a little while later, I come back to it and I'm like, what do I mean about I am enough? Like, I don't want it to come across as like this haughty, like I don't need anybody, I don't need anything. We've got to get to the heart of the matter, and we need to know how God sees us as who we are, just as a creation, not as what we do for Him, for ourselves, whatever, for whatever legacy we leave on this planet. I've got to figure out how to see myself as He sees me. So I'm just scrolling on Instagram and I'm trying to think through this. Excuse me. And all of a sudden I see something that was comparing like, you are enough. I have a screenshot, I could pull it up, but it was more like in the way of how God uses loaves and fishes, what He can do with loaves and fishes. And the light bulbs just went off. I understand better now the direction that I want to study and that I want to head in. That who I am in God, acknowledging what He can do with me. It's not about what I can do in my own strength. It's not about I can do it by myself. It's not about um, even throwing our weight around in what we can do in Him or without Him, but that we are enough in Him, like in a loaves and fishes kind of way. So I spent some time today digging into the different gospels of where there's miracles of loaves and fishes and trying to figure out where we're going in this. And I came up with some really good stuff that I decided what I want to do is bring you guys along with me and do like a 4 to 6 week Bible study, like devotional, some kind of a learning on who God says we are. And we're literally going to call it Who You Say I Am devotional series. So there will be printables for each week that we're going to go through. And I'm going to put it together a box of goodies. And it's going to include a t-shirt with a verse inspiration on it and a journal and maybe a little bit stickers or like some really cute things to go inside of it. So we'll go on a wait list, we'll purchase all the goodies, and then towards probably middle to end of January, we'll go into a private Facebook group. I'll set all that up and let you in as you sign up, and we will show up live once a week to do the devotional. You'll have the journal, you'll have the study time, and then we'll come back together every week and go over what we're learning, what God's saying to each one of us, and you will be able to take your own journey for you through using the journal, the devotional prompts, and all the things in between, and we're going to figure this out together. So I'm working on the original printables and the sketches and all the things. I am beyond excited about this. I will set up a wait list for you so you can even just put your email in if you just want to get to know what's going on or when we open the cart or the doors or anything like that. But if you're at all interested, you can message me and I'll get it set up and started. I just wanted to share with you the behind the scenes a little more in depth, not on Instagram stories because there's so little and I can't talk so fast all the time. So I'm still figuring this out, and it's encouraging me to study. It's encouraging me to think about something other than like what's going on in my physical realm here. So in between making doctor's appointments and phone calls, at least I can focus on something that I can control, not something that is out of my control. And you might not be facing anything like that, but I guarantee there's something in your life or a season in your life that you've gone through loss, or maybe you've even just struggled with who you are in God. Like, I'm 40 years old, and my whole life I've been trying to figure out this balance of who I am in Him and what that means I can do. And I've been hearing that recurring theme a lot more lately, and we just do not understand who we are in the kingdom. And if we got a revelation of who we are in God, I think it would change the world, literally. So I want to find that out, and I want to take as many of you as want to come with me. And so, again, if you're at all interested, then give me a little high five or something. Message me anytime. And I am so looking forward to this. And ask me any questions you might have too, so we can address them together and we can put it in the study. And let me know if you want to be part and what we should add to it. But I'll drop some more as you give me the ideas here, and we're just going to keep moving forward with this. So I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will keep you posted and see you on the other side.